one-eyed nutsucker, he owes me one.
4 years after 2018's God of Boy burst onto the scene and wowed us with its deep, strong voice and big rippling muscles, Boy of War Ragnarok is here to wrestle our jimmies once again. Does it live up to the first game? How many times does Kratos say boy? And most importantly, can you talk to squirrels? Hi there, my name is Kyle, and this is my spoiler-free review of God of War Ragnarok. When God of War Ragnarok was announced, my pants instantly became 3 shades browner. While I haven't played the original trilogy, I played the fuck out of the 2018 game, and I loved every second of it. After the initial excitement of the announcement wore off, however, I began to worry that after putting out such a straight banger like the first game, it would be very easy for them to mess this one up. Thankfully, they didn't. God of War Ragnarok picks up right where the first game left off, and if you have the memory of a tadpole like I do, you have no idea where that was. Thankfully, the game has a little recap option when you first fire it up to bring you up to speed. It's not the most in-depth review, but it's enough to get you started, and if you want the nitty-gritty, you can check out one of the 10 million fan recaps on YouTube anyways. So the story begins back at the cabin in Midgard. It's Fimbulwinter, and Atreus has spent the last couple of years training his tiny pencil arms so that he can finally beat Kratos in an arm wrestle. There's not a lot to do in Fimbulwinter. But before he can do that, we end up watching Fenrir die, because we can't have nice things. And right after that, Thor and Odin show up and try to intimidate Kratos and Atreus, and offer peace if they stop looking for Tyr. And that goes just about as well as you might expect it would. From there, we're off to the races and doing God of War things. And that's as far as I'm going to go with story details so that I don't spoil anything. Everything I just said happens in the first 10 minutes of the game, so you're free to explore on your own. While the plot in this game is not particularly dense or revolutionary, it does keep you interested, and it has a couple of good twists in it that'll keep you coming back for more.
I see dead people.
The voice acting is mostly good, although I did notice that Freya can sound a little bit robotic in some of the random snippets she says as you're wandering around the realms looking for tchotchkes.
I think we'll need to adjust our strategy since there's more than one.
The cutscenes, however, are a cut above, and you can tell they put a lot of effort into making sure the dialogue is delivered in a natural and contextually appropriate way. The real magic here is not so much the plot itself, but it's the way the plot is presented. The writers take their time to make sure that you not only understand what's going on, but you understand each character's motivation and why they are doing the things that they're doing. The plot is not the plot. The relationships between the characters are the real story here.
That is why we must not abandon your training. We do not know the reach of your abilities. They will be dangerous without discipline to control them.
You've already taught me discipline. I need more than that. I need answers. Answers you don't have.
Answers only your mother had. Answers she withheld.
Every story beat not only moves you closer to the finale, but it also evolves the relationships between the characters. Kratos struggles with accepting that Atreus is growing up. Atreus struggles with figuring out what his true purpose is. Freya is overcoming the loss of her son. Even Odin and Thor have their own little story arc. The game feels much more grounded and grown up than the original, and that's reflected in the boy count. In the original game, Kratos famously calls Atreus boy over 100 times, but in Ragnarok, he only does it one single time, and I'm not going to spoil that for you because it is quite a good moment. Atreus is growing up, and so is God of War. Despite its moments of levity, this game is fully capable and willing to punch you right in the gut.
I didn't mean to.
Intent does not matter. Only consequences.
What can we do?
Nothing. Nature will take its course.
But how does it play? This game is a game, of course, it's not a movie, so let's look at that for a second. Ragnarok follows almost exactly the same formula as the 2018 game. There are some updates, like this time you start with both the axe and the Blades of Chaos, and there is a new weapon that makes an appearance about halfway through. But overall, it feels almost identical to the first. The combat is very familiar, the climbing still sucks, and you're even largely in the same environments. So if you're looking for a revolution, this ain't it, folks. One area I would have liked to see improved is loading times. This is a cross-gen title that released on both PS4 and PS5, and as in the last game, the Realm Between Realms is your loading screen. The developers opted to insert story dialogue from Mimir or other companions during this time to make the wait a little bit more bearable, which is great on PS4, but on PS5 you are stuck listening to the entire dialogue before your new world spawns. Chop chop Mimir, I've got dogs to pet. Thankfully, when you're just running around and not actively progressing the story, there is little dialogue and the fast travels load within a few seconds on PS5. That said, it feels like a continuation of the first game in the best way possible. You're able to explore all 9 realms in this game, and they've changed up the ones that are reused enough that they don't really feel too recycled. The side content, however, is very, very similar. The stupid green ravens are back, there are Valkyrie analogs, and Trials of Muspelheim are back as well. Thankfully, the ultra grindy Niflheim trials are gone. Everything here in this game is brought together with absolutely stunning graphics. I played on a 4K HDR display, and all I have to say is, wow. YouTube does not do this game justice. The compression algorithm destroys so much of the detail. It is absolutely worth buying and playing for yourself. More than once I would be on a quest line, things are happening, stories progressing, and I had to just stop and stare. Some of these landscapes are jaw-dropping.
Beautiful, no? A far cry from the sheets of Midgard snow I've grown accustomed to.
Graphics this good almost completely eliminate the need to actually go outside. When the boomers ruin the planet, I'll be in my cave playing Ragnarok and I won't even be mad. Now for the bug report. This game has more bugs than a hospital clean room. And that's because in my entire 50-hour playthrough, I encountered exactly one bug. When jumping off a ledge, Kratos instead chain grapples the ledge and kind of falls through the world sometimes. But I was able to just climb back up and jump off again with no issue. It didn't kill me, it didn't reset anything. So really not that big of a problem. And this bug happened exactly 2 times in the whole game. I didn't actually get any footage of it, sorry. But only one minor bug happened very infrequently on a brand new game. I started playing this on launch day, so I think that's pretty acceptable. Santa Monica Studio, hats off to you. This game is polished AF. Bethesda, if you're listening, this is how you do a game launch. So to sum up, God of War Ragnarok is the same game as 2018 God of War, only more. It's bigger and better in all the right places, and they didn't fix what wasn't broken. This, my friends, is how you do a sequel. This is the new standard of gaming in my opinion, and that's why I'm giving it 12 out of 10. Oh, and yes, you can talk to squirrels.
Well, I mustn't keep you further from your goings-on.
We're done talking. Bugger off.
Talks to squirrels now, huh?